My name is Ron Eckelbarger. I have an MA in History from Liberty University and am working on my PhD in the same field at Liberty as well. The paper I'm presenting is entitled The Motivations of the Great Puritan Migration of 1630. It examines why some 20,000 people, the vast majority of whom were Puritans, made the arduous trip to New England when it was nothing but a wilderness. I'm interested in the project because two of my 10th great-grandfathers, Major Brian Pendleton and Thomas Philbrick Sr., were Puritans who came over in that Puritan migration of 1630. I have another 10th great-grandfather who came over a little earlier. His name is Governor William Bradford of the Plymouth Colony. So I have a personal as well as historical interest in this topic. The key questions driving this research are: why would so many people completely uproot their lives to go to a new continent? Was their Puritan faith the only or even the primary force driving them to leave England? The purpose of this paper is to demonstrate that the Puritan migrants' overwhelming motive was the desire to practice their faith according to what they saw as the dictates of Scripture. The methodology employed was to examine the words of the Puritans themselves as they explained their Puritan faith and their reasons for immigrating. While many secondary sources were consulted, the examination of primary sources was the main method of research. The research demonstrates that far and away, the primary motivation for these people to come to America was religious. Perhaps the prime example of this, Puritans speaking in their own words, is the famous sermon that John Winthrop preached, A Model of Christian Charity. It is the sermon that the phrase, "a city on a hill," comes from. And it is from that it entered our American culture and vernacular. A look at the context of Winthrop's use of it in the sermon shows not only the origin, but it provides further evidence of the Puritans' motives. In encouraging the people to demonstrate true love to one another, Winthrop says, "So shall we keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. The Lord will be our God and delight to dwell among us." His motive was for these people to build a godly community. Winthrop goes on, "For we must consider that we shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of the people are upon us. Indeed, America has become to many that very city on a hill, as Winthrop dreamed. But it would only become great as long as it followed the way of Christ." Such were the beliefs of the Puritans who came. There are volumes and volumes of the writing of the Puritans who came over in the migration, and many compilations of these writings have been done. Also, much study has been done regarding the motives of the Puritans who immigrated. One area of further study would be to expand this paper into a comprehensive volume of all the writings that the Puritans made that deal with their motives in coming to America.